At the tone, the time will be
0:30.
Cut out the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
Yeah, what could go wrong with everything that the world leaders are doing? Folks, they're crazy. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. This is John. I am your host. It is 0:30, and I've blasted out of the bunker into the world. Wow. Every day I wake up, there's just more and more ridiculous things going on that are incredibly dangerous, that are destroying things financially, socially. Well, how about health and safety? I mean, get this. I got another strike. Well, rather a video removed while the BC channel is in the strike position over medical misinformation. I don't know what medical misinformation it could be, because this show is pure satire. Well, they're trying to kill people. Well, they're digitally killing people. And that's good. Oh, we'll be talking about AOC. She's got an opinion on why it's good to get rid of people and deplatform them. That's right. It's good. Well, I think we ought to deplatform her dumbass. And she is a fucking dumbass, too. Anyways, let's roll back here. My discussions about disease or supposed cures is bad. Well, get this, in the Sudan, folks. That's right, it's another nation, one of those third world shitholes that we know so much about. They have, well, biolabs. That's right, biolabs. And this biolab in the Sudan has now been taken over by crude, rude, uneducated, unintelligent, radicalized, violent extremists. You got that there, camera guy? The lab's been taken over. Do you understand what kind of threat that represents to you and I? Now, I believe the diseases that are supposedly being worked on in this biolab are cholera, and other, well, seemingly not so bad diseases. Well, if they're not so bad, then why do we need to study them? If they've been around for a long time and we know how to deal with them, what's the big deal? Yeah, I think those are both valid questions. Those diseases, these lightweight ones, right? These level 1 contagious diseases, they're out there, but they're not killing the world. Oh, that's right. Yeah, cerveza bug also is no longer an emergency. The emergency's been lifted. There's no longer a cerveza bug emergency in the United States of America. So why am I getting medical misinformation if it's not a risk and threat? Oh, well, see, they just need those controls over us. Yeah, and even though those diseases are, they're treatable, we still need to be studying them in biolabs in the Sudan. This continues to plague the world, folks. This let's use third world shitholes to do things that, well, no one else knows about. Like Ukraine having, what was it, 27, 28, 29 biolabs in Ukraine, one of the most corrupt countries on the planet. While not a third world shithole, certainly didn't land in the, let's see, shall we say, the lexicon of emerging markets, right? Just a shithole. The chances of something going wrong, something going very wrong, are they worth the risk? Well, let's go back to Sudan. And they have a lab that studies cholera, and other lightweight diseases. How do we know that? How do we know they aren't studying and fucking around with other diseases, more dangerous diseases? How do we know? How do we know they haven't been weaponizing polio? How do we know? Right? They kept telling us, oh, we're not doing anything wrong in Ukraine. We're not doing anything wrong here. We're just studying these diseases. And why do you study them in a place that just it's off the charts stupid? And so now the threat, the worry, the scare is that in Sudan there's going to be a huge outbreak of disease if these idiots go into one of the laboratories and open one of the vials and let that shit out. Well, I mean, they're diseases. They're already out there. One good sick person becomes a walking test tube of aerosolized death. So what's the risk, right? There's always disease out there. The risk is government, folks. Government is the risk. Corporate, shall we say, malfeasance is the risk. Well, let's do it in Sudan because it's cheaper. That's right, it's cheaper. We got cheaper help and, well, less informed scientists and undertrained staff, and they can cut corners. Folks, nothing's cheaper. What do you think is cheaper? To buy a genuine, real, 100% beef hamburger patty in the United States of America, or going into a country like Sudan and going to a store and saying, I would like a pure 100% beef hamburger patty, and see what it costs you, right, to get it all the way over there. Countries are shitholes. They're called that for a reason. Right? This whole never mind that story. Back to the medical risk. Back to what they're risking again. It's almost like they do it intentionally. Wouldn't you say? Well, it's because it is. They're doing this intentionally. Some corporation decided it would be a great idea to put a biolab, and they're going to study whatever the hell they want. Now they say, oh, we're a corporate biolab. We have to play by the government rules. What government rules are there in the Sudan? Little to none. The United Nations have anything to say over this? As if we could trust them. And if they're operating under a special U.S. government license for an American biolab to operate in a foreign country, who is doing the inspections? And do they give them special permission to work on diseases other than the sniffles and the common cough? That's right, the government gives out special licenses. We're going to let you be one of those special places. We're going to give you extra money, and you do some of our nasty, dirty work for us. Oh, shit, there's some Sudanese fighters coming through the door. Can the Sudanese fighters, let me ask you this, can they grab a test tube of that shit, whatever that shit is that we don't know anything about, that no one's really regulating, that no laws are stopping, that no one was inspecting? Can they take one of those vials of shit, put that tube in his anus, get on a plane in Sudan, fly over to Mexico, and walk across the U.S. border and take a giant shit in our country and spread all that disease here? There you have it, folks. That's how quick it can get here. Thank you, Joe Biden. Thank you, Democrats. Thank you, World Economic Forum. Thank you for all you do just for us to make us safer. Folks, they don't make us safer. They risk everything all the time. Are you prepared? Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. Are you ready for trouble? Do you have your plan? Folks, chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Godspeed. Semper Fi.